Today we're going to review The Joy of Missing Out by Tonya Dalton, who is also the founder and creator of Inkwell Press Planners. And more importantly, we're going to talk about what you need to do if you also would like a traditional book deal and how it relates to planners and how it can really help boost your sales. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create beautiful digital downloads using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do unboxings on Saturday. Now, I have never unboxed one of her new planners. She creates the Inkwell planners using the disc-bound system. I 1000% am not a disc-bound system person. I mean, it just feels to me like a bunch of pieces of paper with like plastic like slid in there. I don't know why. I don't like them. And that's more personal preference. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. A lot of people love them. However, because of that, I will never review one of her planners that she has out now, but I did review one of her older planners. But today we are just going to talk about her book and how you can land your own book deal, because I do think it did help her sales. I do believe that it is a great opportunity for you to help establish yourself more as an influencer, as an expert in whatever subject you're writing about, to help get you speaking gigs. There's absolutely no negatives to writing a book, especially a traditionally published book. It almost seems to, even though there's nothing, absolutely nothing at all wrong with self-publishing, the traditional books usually have a better access to getting your book into more places. And because of that, you are going to get access to more places than you normally would have been able to with less legwork than if you had a self-published book, which is really what you want with the non-published book for nonfiction. So make sure to download my How to Land a Book Deal for nonfiction books below. It's really quick and easy. I have actually been trying to do this for fiction, so it's just a little bit of a tweak for nonfiction, so we'll talk about that too. So this book, The Joy of Missing Out, was really, to me, more for moms, and it was a struggle, it sounded like, with all of her personal stories, with struggling between like being productive in her business or her day job or something else versus spending time with her children. So if you're a mom and that's something that you struggle with, this is probably a really great book for you. But if you're single with no kids like me, I don't think the stories really didn't resonate with me or apply at all. But there were a lot of principles in here that were, I would say, reiterated from things that I read in Rachel Hollis and in Brendon Burchard's Habits books. And those were excellent books as well. And, you know, maybe people just like things packaged in different ways. So it's not a knock on this book. I think, you know, people have different experts or influencers they enjoy hearing from, and different stories that resonate more or less with them based on who they are, right? So Brendon Burchard is obviously not going to talk about the perspective of being a single mom, or a mom who struggles with all these things that she's talking about, but it's the same principles given in a different scenario. So just something to think about. Even if you have a subject that's already out there, maybe you have a unique situation that isn't going to resonate or is going to resonate with different audiences. So never be afraid of writing something just because there's already things out there. So how to get a trad deal like Tonya's, really easy. All you have to do is put together a book proposal. Not that hard. Write a couple of the first chapters, and then you send that out on proposal. So fiction books have to be completely written, and then you can send it out to agents. But a couple times maybe people will buy things on spec, but for the most part, that is not the case with fiction. But nonfiction, 100% yes. And it's really more important that you have a strong platform versus strong stories, because they want to know that the book is going to sell and that you have an audience and that people are going to be excited by this book or whatever you're talking about because they're excited by you. So you should also put together kind of like a media kit when you send out your book, like how many followers you have, how much engagement you have, how much traffic your website gets, what are your plans to help promote this book. That's also very important for nonfiction. You send that proposal out to an agent. Sometimes book publishers will take unagented work, but you are much more likely to get a book deal if you find and land an agent first, who will then help you polish your book deal, and then they have better connections and know what people in the industry want and are looking for. And then you will go out on what's called submission, where you kind of just wait and see what comes back. And best case scenario, you know, multiple people want your book, and your book goes to what's called auction. And if it goes to auction, usually that means big bucks, and you're going to get a huge deal because everyone's kind of fighting over your book to make sure that they get it. And then you have a book deal. So if you've ever watched the show Younger on the CW, they work at a book publishing agency. They pretty much, I shouldn't say only, but they mainly talk about nonfiction book deals, and that is kind of indicative of what it goes on in getting a trad book deal. All right, I hope that was helpful. Make sure to download my little guide checklist below, and I hope everyone's having a fabulous day, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.